Next guest says President Trump will be remembered as one of the, quote, most disruptive figures ever to lead the United States. With that said, let's bring in Newt Gingrich, author of Trump and the American Future. Newt, great to see you.
Good to see you.
Make your case. How is the president the most disruptive figure to lead? Explain.
Well, look, he's taken on the entire establishment. His speech at Mount Rushmore took on the anti-American left in the most aggressive, vigorous way of any president in modern times. He has taken on the whole power structure of Washington and has followed policies that are a very sharp break from the establishment, both tax cutting, deregulation, changes in our trade policy, changes in our national security policy. I think he is the most disruptive president since Andrew Jackson. And I think that he's faced a counterattack starting before he was even elected, because the establishment knew that he was a mortal enemy of all the things they wanted. So that's what this fight's about. If you really want the deep state to succeed, and you really think an anti-American left, such as Joe Biden's July 4th statement, is where we ought to go, you got a team. On the other hand, if you really think that we have to recapture the ability to tell the truth about America, despite the New York Times, the Washington Post, and all of their allies,
right,
then I think Trump has to be the person you vote for. So it's a huge disruption from where the left thought they'd be going.
Yeah, it's interesting. Newt, Karl Rove recently said that if he was advising the president right now, he said, I'd have him push the reset button. He's trailing in the polls. He needs to refocus, get on message. I'm not quite sure what that would be. What advice would you give to the president just, 4 months now away from the election?
Well, first of all, he was certainly on message at Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very powerful pro-American message that most people will respond to. Second, I would hope that he would establish 5 or 6 big goals, one of which ought to be a 12-month holiday from the payroll tax to get the economy rolling, 100% expensing for businesses so they could bring all their factories out of China and bring them back home, a all-out effort to let every child have a chance to have school choice so no child is trapped in a bad school, ruining their life because they can't to learn enough to get a job. Now, there are a number of those big things he ought to be for. And then he has to come back again and again to the Biden-Pelosi-Schumer team, not Biden by himself, but the Biden-Pelosi-Schumer team and what they stand for. And I think as people come to understand what they stand for, they're going to shrink very dramatically in the next 60 days.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Newt Gingrich, great stuff as always. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Thank you.